1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan, the news read by Muhammad Zubair Khan. First, the headlines. Prime Minister has directed the economic team to prepare a comprehensive reform strategy to revamp economy on emergency basis. Director General ISPR has categorically stated that organized malicious campaign being carried out against the armed forces is not acceptable. Chief of the Naval Staff says we must keep abreast of the emerging technology to deal with the grey hybrid conflicts and cyber warfare. Polling for first phase of local bodies elections will be held in 17 districts of Punjab on 9th of June, while in 32 districts of Balochistan will be held on May 29th. Pakistan has been re-elected for the 7th time to the United Nations Committee on Non-Governmental Organizations. Indian troops in the fresh act of state terrorism martyred 4 more youth in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir today. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has directed the economic team to prepare a comprehensive reform strategy for betterment of economy on emergency basis. Chairing a high-level meeting on the current economic situation in Islamabad today, he assured to take steps on emergency basis to stabilize the economy. The Prime Minister said that steps should be taken at all costs to improve the economic condition of common man as well as to keep a check on inflation on priority basis. The Finance Ministry briefed the Prime Minister about the current economic condition of the country. Shehbaz Sharif voiced concerns on disturbing economic indicators. Director General Inter-Services Public Relations Major General Babar Iftikhar has categorically stated that organized malicious campaign being carried out against the armed forces is not acceptable. Addressing a news briefing in Rawalpindi this afternoon, he said the armed forces and their leadership is being targeted to create division and discord amongst the military and the people. He said constructive criticism is welcomed, but hatching conspiracy on the basis of mere rumors to malign the armed forces is not acceptable. He said, fake audio messages of retired military officers are being prepared by using deep fake technology spread on the social media. Babar Iftikhar made it clear that armed forces drive strength from public support, without which the concept of national security becomes meaningless. Hence, any intentional or unintentional attempt to create misunderstanding between the armed forces and the people of Pakistan is against the national interest. The Director General said foes of Pakistan have failed to create division between the armed forces and the people for last 7 decades, and we will never let that happen in future as well. Chief of the Naval Staff Admiral Muhammad Amjad Khan Niazi says we must keep abreast to the emerging technology and should make endeavors to deal with the grey hybrid conflicts, coercion and cyber warfare. He stated this during visit to PAF Air War College Institute in Karachi today. He said that without jointness, military objectives could not be achieved in the wake of rapid transformation in today's warfare. He also paid rich tribute to the role and sacrifices of the Pakistan Armed Forces for the defense and security of the motherland. The Election Commission of Pakistan has issued schedule for the first phase of local government elections in 17 districts of Punjab, while polling day on 9th of June this year. To this respect, the ECP issued a notification today which states that electoral process will be conducted in Dera Ghazi Khan, Rajanpur, Muzaffargarh, Laiya, Khanewal, Vihari, Bahawalpur, Sahiwal, Pakpatan, Toba Tek Singh, Chiniot, Khushab, Sialkot, Hafizabad, Mandi Bahauddin, Jhelum and Attak. Nomination papers can be received from returning officers from Monday, while these papers can be filed from next Thursday to 25th of this month. Scrutiny of nomination papers will be done from 27th of this month to 9th of the next month. Polling for local bodies elections in 32 districts of Balochistan except Quetta and Lasbela will be held on 29th of May. According to Provincial Election Commissioner Balochistan Fayaz Hussain Murad, the nomination papers can be submitted to the concerned returning officers from April the 15th to 18th. List of candidates will be released on 1st of May, while the candidates will be allotted election symbols on May the 7th. There are 838 union councils in 32 districts of the province, with 5,345 rural wards and 914 urban wards. Qawmi Sehat Card empaneled hospitals are providing uninterrupted and free of cost medical services and treatments across Pakistan. According to spokesman of the Ministry of National Health Services, under the Sehat Sahulat program, families are able to get free treatment from empaneled public and private hospitals all across the country. He said that all hospitals empaneled with Sehat Sahulat program across Pakistan continue to provide free of cost hospitalization services to all citizens as per the agreement. He said that any social media messages to the contrary are patently false, malicious and baseless. He advised the citizens that in case of any problem they should call toll-free helpline 0800 09009 or approach the relevant hospital Sehat card counter for prompt assistance. This is Radio Pakistan. Pakistan has been re-elected for the 7th time to the United Nations Committee on Non-Governmental Organizations. The election took place at the Economic and Social Council of the United Nations in New York. The committee is an intergovernmental body that oversees the implementation of the legal framework governing NGOs' participation in the work of the United Nations. In a statement, Foreign Office spokesperson Asim Iftikhar said Pakistan's election to the committee reflects the confidence of the international community in its role and contribution to the work of the UN. As a member on the Committee on NGOs, Pakistan will continue to promote cooperation between the UN and civil society organizations working alongside governments to improve the lives of people all around the world. Khalsa Janamdin and Vaisakhi Mela celebrations are continued at Gurdwara Panja Sahab, Hassan Abdal today. Sikh pilgrims from India are also attending the celebrations. Pilgrims from across the country are also participating in the main ceremony of Vaisakhi Mela. After the main ceremonies, the pilgrims will reach Janamasthan Nankana Sahab tomorrow. In a tweet, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has welcomed all the 6 delegates visiting Pakistan on the occasion of Baisakhi. He said this Punjabi festival symbolizes much more than merely the start of the harvesting season. It is a sign of hope, renewal and growth. He extended congratulations to all those celebrating this spring festival. Indian troops in the fresh act of state terrorism martyred 2 more youth in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir today. According to Kashmir Media Service, the troops killed the youth during a cordon and search operation in Budgam area of Shupiyan district. In a message from New Delhi's Tihar jail, illegally detained Vice Chairman of All Parties Hurriyat Conference Shabir Ahmed Shah stressed that a suitable resolution of the Kashmir dispute is essential for peace and development in South Asia. He called upon the United Nations to play a significant role in implementation of its resolutions on the Kashmir dispute. The APHC leader maintained that the Kashmiris are determined to thwart India's nefarious agenda to change the demography of Jammu and Kashmir with unity. Shabir Ahmed Shah asked New Delhi to learn from history and stop extrajudicial killings and instead resolve the dispute within the framework of the UN resolutions. At least 4 people have been killed in the Ukrainian city of Kharkiv amid increasing Russian bombings, while over 100,000 people are awaiting evacuation from Mariupol. Besides, Russian warship Moskva has been seriously damaged when 2 cruise missiles hit the vessel. However, Russia claims that the ship was damaged due to fire. While on the other hand, Moscow has warned NATO against accepting Sweden and Finland's memberships, saying there could be no more talk of a nuclear-free Baltic. It is also worth mentioning that US President Joe Biden has announced $800 million additional military aid to Ukraine. And finally, the weather report. Hot and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, light rain, wind and thunderstorm is expected at isolated places in Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. And now once again the headlines. Prime Minister has directed the economic team to prepare a comprehensive reform strategy to revamp economy on emergency basis. Director General ISPR has categorically stated that organized malicious campaign being carried out against the armed forces is not acceptable. Chief of the Naval Staff says we must keep abreast of the emerging technology to deal with the grey hybrid conflicts and cyber warfare. Polling for first phase of local bodies elections will be held in 17 districts of Punjab on 9th of June, while in 32 districts of Balochistan will be held on 29th of May. Pakistan has been re-elected for the 7th time to the United Nations Committee on Non-Governmental Organization. That is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News.